Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. Today we're going to explore an interesting topic, transportation in animals and plants. On this first slide, we see the title of our presentation. We'll be discussing how different organisms move nutrients and other substances within their bodies. Over the next few slides, we'll look at the systems involved and how they help keep these living things healthy and functioning. So let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the contents of this presentation. We start with the circulatory system, which is essential for transporting blood and nutrients throughout the body. Moving on, we focus on blood vessels, the highways of our circulatory system, including arteries, veins, and capillaries. Next, we explore the pulmonary vein, which plays a crucial role in carrying oxygen-rich blood from the lungs back to the heart. We'll also examine a schematic diagram of circulation to better understand how blood flows through the heart and vessels. The presentation then broadens to cover the circulatory system in animals, highlighting differences and similarities. Now, shifting gears, we'll discuss the components of blood, what makes up this vital fluid that sustains life. From there, we'll look into the excretory system components, which are responsible for removing waste from our bodies. As we proceed, we'll cover arteries, which carry blood away from the heart, the pulmonary artery, which transports deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs, and capillaries, where exchange of gases and nutrients actually occurs. We'll also review the sections of the human heart, understanding its structure and function. Additionally, we'll look at William Harvey, the scientist who discovered how blood circulates in the body, a groundbreaking contribution that shaped modern physiology. Moving further, we'll discuss dialysis, a life-saving process for those with kidney failure. Lastly, we'll examine the importance of transpiration in plants, which is vital for water movement and nutrient transport, connecting the themes of circulation and transportation across living organisms. Throughout this presentation, keep in mind how these systems are interconnected and fundamental to maintaining life. Let's take a closer look at the circulatory system, which is essentially the body's transport network. It consists of a vast network of blood vessels that work tirelessly to carry vital substances throughout the body. Think of it as a delivery system that ensures your organs and tissues receive the food, water, and oxygen they need to function properly. At the same time, it plays a crucial role in removing waste products, like carbon dioxide and other metabolites, so your body can stay clean and balanced. This system is fundamental to maintaining overall health and efficiency, connecting directly to our broader discussion on how the body sustains itself and stays functional. Now, let's take a closer look at the main parts of the circulatory system. First up is the blood itself. Blood is essential because it carries oxygen and nutrients to all parts of the body, while also removing waste products. It's made up of different components like red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma, each playing a vital role in maintaining our health. Next, we have the blood vessels. These are the highways through which blood travels. There are three main types: arteries, which carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart; veins, which return deoxygenated blood back to the heart; and capillaries, the tiny vessels where the exchange of oxygen, nutrients, and waste occurs between the blood and our tissues. Finally, we come to the heart, which is the powerhouse of this system. It's a muscular organ that pumps blood continuously, maintaining the flow necessary for our survival. The heart's rhythmic contractions ensure that oxygenated blood reaches our organs and tissues efficiently, supporting every function in our body. Connecting these parts, we see how they work together seamlessly to sustain life. The blood transports, the vessels deliver, and the heart pumps, a perfect teamwork that keeps us alive and healthy. This understanding is fundamental as we explore how these components function in harmony in the entire system. Let's take a closer look at the components of blood. Blood is a vital fluid that keeps our bodies functioning properly, and understanding its parts helps us appreciate how it does its job. The main components include plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Each of these plays a crucial role. Plasma is the liquid part of blood, making up about 55%. It's mostly water, but it also contains nutrients, hormones, and waste products, acting as the transportation system for these substances. Red blood cells are responsible for carrying oxygen from our lungs to the rest of the body and bringing back carbon dioxide to be expelled. They are packed with hemoglobin, which gives blood its red color and is key for oxygen transport. White blood cells are the defenders of our immune system. They help fight infections and protect us from illnesses. They are less abundant than red blood cells, but are vital for our health. Finally, platelets are small cell fragments that are essential for blood clotting. When we get a cut, they gather at the site and form clots to stop bleeding. Each of these components works together seamlessly, supporting overall health and the body's ability to heal and fight disease. Understanding these components gives us insight into how blood sustains life and maintains homeostasis. Today, we're going to look at the main types of blood components that make up our blood. First, we have red blood cells, or RBCs, which are primarily responsible for carrying oxygen from our lungs to the rest of the body and returning carbon dioxide back to the lungs to be exhaled. They are essential for maintaining our body's oxygen supply and supporting overall energy levels. Next, there are platelets, which play a crucial role in blood clotting. When we get a cut or injury, platelets quickly gather at the site to help form a clot and stop the bleeding. They are vital for wound healing and preventing excessive blood loss. Then we have white blood cells, or WBCs. These are the immune system's defenders. They help fight off infections and protect us from diseases. White blood cells are incredibly diverse and adaptable, capable of targeting a wide range of pathogens. Finally, there's plasma, which is the liquid part of blood. Plasma transports nutrients, hormones, waste products, and other chemicals throughout the body. It also helps maintain blood pressure and volume, acting as the transportation highway for many vital substances. Understanding these components helps us grasp how blood functions as a whole, supporting life and health in many complex ways. Blood is a vital part of our body because it transports substances that keep us healthy and active. It has a fluid component called plasma, which acts like the blood's transportation highway, carrying nutrients, hormones, and waste products. Along with plasma, blood contains different types of cells that perform essential functions. Red blood cells, or RBCs, are particularly important because they contain a pigment called hemoglobin. This hemoglobin is what allows red blood cells to pick up oxygen from our lungs and deliver it to every part of the body. Without this, our tissues wouldn't get the oxygen they need to function properly. Then we have white blood cells, or WBCs, which are our body's defense team. They fight against germs and protect us from illnesses, acting as the immune system's soldiers. And finally, platelets are small cell fragments that help in clotting blood. When you get a cut, platelets quickly gather at the site to form a clot, stopping the bleeding and helping the wound heal. Altogether, these components, plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, work together seamlessly to keep our blood functioning and our bodies healthy. Let's talk about hemoglobin. This is a crucial component of our blood because it has the important job of binding with oxygen. Once it captures the oxygen, hemoglobin transports it through the bloodstream to all parts of the body. This includes every organ and, most importantly, all the cells. Without hemoglobin, delivering oxygen efficiently to each cell would be very difficult. It's what makes our blood appear red, thanks to the presence of hemoglobin. So, in essence, hemoglobin is essential for oxygen transport and for maintaining the overall function of our body. Now, let's talk about blood vessels. Our body contains these tube-like structures that play a crucial role in keeping us alive. They are responsible for transporting blood throughout the entire body. Think of them as the body's own highway system, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the tissues and removing waste products. Understanding blood vessels helps us see how our circulatory system works together to support all our organs and systems. It's a vital part of the overall picture of how our body functions efficiently and keeps us healthy. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of blood vessels in our body. There are 3 main types, each with its own specific function that keeps everything running smoothly. First, we have the arteries. These vessels are responsible for carrying oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. They have thick, elastic walls to withstand the high pressure of blood pumped from the heart. Next, we have the veins. These vessels carry blood that is now rich in carbon dioxide back toward the heart. They have thinner walls and often contain valves to prevent backflow, making sure the blood moves in the right direction. Lastly, we have capillaries. These tiny, thin-walled vessels connect arteries and veins and are where the actual exchange of oxygen, nutrients, and waste products occurs with the body's tissues. Connecting all these vessels is essential for maintaining proper blood flow and overall health, which ties directly into our understanding of how the circulatory system supports every aspect of our body's function. Now, let's take a closer look at arteries. These blood vessels have a very important function. They carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to different parts of the body. This means they are essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients where they are needed most. In terms of structure, arteries have thick walls. This is because the blood pressure inside them is quite high, so their walls need to be sturdy to withstand that pressure and prevent any damage. Their diameter is also quite narrow compared to other blood vessels. This narrowness helps the blood flow quickly through them, ensuring efficient delivery of oxygen-rich blood. Another key point is that arteries do not contain valves. Since the blood is always flowing in the right direction, thanks to the pumping action of the heart, valves are not necessary in arteries. This unidirectional flow is crucial for maintaining a smooth and consistent circulation. So, in summary, arteries are strong, narrow, and designed to handle high pressure, ensuring that oxygenated blood reaches all parts of the body efficiently. Let's talk about the pulmonary artery, which is quite special among blood vessels. Unlike other arteries, its main role is to connect the heart directly to the lungs. Now, what makes it unique is the type of blood it carries. It transports blood that has less oxygen, known as deoxygenated blood, from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. This is a key point because, typically, arteries carry oxygen-rich blood, but the pulmonary artery is an exception to that rule. Understanding this helps us see how the heart and lungs work together seamlessly in the respiratory and circulatory systems, ensuring our body gets the oxygen it needs. Now, let's talk about veins. These blood vessels are responsible for carrying blood that is rich in carbon dioxide from the body organs back to the heart. One key point to remember is that veins do not have thick walls like arteries do. This is because the blood pressure in veins is quite low, so they don't need to withstand high pressure. Also, you'll notice that veins are slightly wider than arteries, which helps accommodate the larger volume of blood they carry. An important feature of veins is that they contain valves. These act like tiny checkpoints to prevent the blood from flowing backward. This is especially crucial because the blood is moving against gravity in many parts of the body. Overall, veins play an essential role in completing the circulatory loop by returning deoxygenated blood to the heart efficiently. Let's talk about the pulmonary vein, which is quite special among blood vessels. Unlike other veins in our body, the pulmonary vein has a unique role. It connects the lungs directly to the heart, and its main job is to carry oxygen-rich blood from the lungs back to the heart. This is important because, as you might remember, most veins carry oxygen-poor blood. So the pulmonary vein is actually carrying oxygenated blood, making it stand out. This connection is crucial for the circulatory system to effectively deliver oxygen to the rest of the body. Understanding this helps us see how the lungs and heart work together seamlessly in oxygen exchange and circulation. Let's take a closer look at the comparison between arteries and veins. Arteries are responsible for carrying oxygen-rich blood from the heart to different parts of the body. Because this blood is under high pressure, arteries have thick walls to withstand that pressure. Additionally, they are narrow, which helps the blood flow quickly through them. Interestingly, arteries don't have valves because the heart's pumping action ensures that the blood always moves in the right direction. On the other hand, veins carry blood that is rich in carbon dioxide from the body's organs back to the heart. Since the blood in veins is under lower pressure, their walls are thinner and they are slightly wider than arteries. Veins do contain valves, which are crucial because they prevent the blood from flowing backward, especially since the blood has to travel against gravity in many cases. This comparison highlights how the structure of these vessels is perfectly adapted to their specific functions within the circulatory system. Now let's talk about small blood vessels called capillaries. These tiny vessels are where the magic really happens. The arteries, which you can think of as the main highways of blood flow, divide into these much smaller capillaries. Their main job is to deliver oxygen-rich blood to the tissues throughout your body. But it's not just about bringing oxygen. Capillaries also play a crucial role in taking away the deoxygenated blood. Basically, the blood that has given up its oxygen back to the veins. This process is essential for maintaining healthy tissue function and overall circulation. So, in essence, capillaries are the key exchange points where oxygen and nutrients are delivered and waste products are picked up. They're small but incredibly important for keeping your body's systems running smoothly. Now, let's talk about pulse and pulse rate. When your heart pumps blood through your arteries, it creates a rhythmic throbbing movement that we call the pulse. This movement is a vital sign that tells us a lot about how well our circulatory system is working. Pulse rate, on the other hand, refers to the number of these pulse beats you feel in 1 minute. Typically, a normal pulse rate for a healthy adult ranges from about 72 to 80 beats per minute. Understanding your pulse and pulse rate helps us assess overall health and detect any irregularities in heart function. It's a simple yet powerful indicator that connects directly to how effectively your heart is pumping blood throughout your body. Now let's take a closer look at the schematic diagram of circulation. This diagram is essential because it visually represents how blood moves through the cardiovascular system. You'll notice the key pathways, starting from the heart, which acts as the pump, pushing blood into the arteries. From there, the blood travels through smaller arteries and capillaries, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues. Then, it collects into veins, which carry it back to the heart. This cyclical process is fundamental to maintaining life and supporting all bodily functions. Understanding this diagram helps us see how efficiently the circulatory system works and underscores its importance in overall health. It also highlights how different components, like arteries, veins, and capillaries, interact seamlessly to sustain our body's needs. This schematic ties into the broader theme of the presentation, emphasizing the intricate yet highly organized nature of circulatory physiology. The heart is a vital organ in our body that functions as a pump, moving blood through our blood vessels. You can find it tucked away in the chest cavity, protected by the rib cage. Interestingly, the size of a typical human heart is roughly comparable to your fist, which helps us grasp just how essential and compact this organ is. The heart has 4 chambers in total, 2 upper chambers called atria and 2 lower chambers called ventricles. These chambers work together to ensure efficient blood flow. The partition or wall between these chambers plays a crucial role. It prevents the mixing of oxygen-rich blood with blood that contains more carbon dioxide, which is vital for maintaining proper circulation and oxygen delivery throughout the body. Connecting these points to what we've discussed about the circulatory system, the heart's structure is perfectly designed to support its key role in keeping us alive and healthy. Now, let's take a closer look at the sections of the human heart. The heart is a remarkable organ with distinct parts that work together to keep blood moving efficiently throughout the body. It's divided into 4 main chambers, the right and left atria, and the right and left ventricles. Each of these plays a crucial role in the blood flow cycle. The atria are the upper chambers. They receive blood coming into the heart. The ventricles are the lower chambers. They pump blood out of the heart to the lungs and the rest of the body. Understanding these sections helps us see how the heart functions as a powerful pump, maintaining circulation and supporting overall health. This structural organization is fundamental to the heart's ability to sustain life, which ties directly into the broader theme of how vital the cardiovascular system is to our well-being. Now, let's talk a bit about the heartbeat. The walls of the heart's chambers are made up of muscles, which is pretty fascinating. These muscles contract and relax in a rhythmic pattern, creating what we know as a heartbeat. This rhythmic contraction and relaxation are essential because they keep blood moving through our body, delivering oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. When the muscles contract, it's like the heart is squeezing, pushing blood out. When they relax, the heart fills up again, preparing for the next beat. This cycle repeats constantly, keeping us alive and active. Now, to listen to this vital rhythm, doctors use an instrument called a stethoscope. It amplifies the sound of the heartbeat, making it easier to hear and monitor. By listening to the heartbeat, doctors can assess the health of the heart and get clues about a person's overall condition. So, in the context of our presentation, understanding the heartbeat helps us appreciate how the heart functions as a vital pump and how healthcare professionals monitor its health to ensure we stay well. Now, let's look at some animals like hydra and sponges. Interestingly, these creatures do not have a circulatory system at all. Since they live in water, they can absorb nutrients and oxygen directly through their body surfaces. This means they don't need a complex network to move fluids around. As water flows into their bodies, it provides the necessary oxygen and nutrients. Then, as the water exits, it carries away waste products like carbon dioxide and other materials. This simple process is enough for these animals because of their small size and the aquatic environment they live in. It's a great example of how different organisms have evolved various ways to meet their needs without a circulatory system, tying into our overall theme of how animals adapt their body systems to their habitats. Now, here we have William Harvey, an influential English physician whose work truly transformed our understanding of the human body. Harvey is best known for discovering the circulation of blood, a breakthrough that changed medicine forever. Before his discovery, many believed that blood was produced in the liver and consumed by the body. But Harvey showed us that blood actually circulates continuously through the heart and vessels. His meticulous observations and experiments revealed how the heart acts as a pump, propelling blood through a closed system of arteries and veins. This discovery is a perfect example of the scientific method, questioning assumptions, carefully observing, and logically deducing new truths. It also highlights a broader theme we're exploring: how the Renaissance period sparked a shift towards empirical evidence and scientific inquiry. Harvey's work laid the foundation for modern physiology and medicine, showing us the power of careful observation and experimentation in understanding the human body. Now, let's talk about excretion in animals. You see, the cells in animals perform many different functions to keep the organism alive and healthy. During these processes, they produce waste products. These waste products can be toxic if they stay inside the body, so it's really important that they are removed efficiently. The process by which animals get rid of these waste products is called excretion. Essentially, excretion is the body's way of cleaning out the unnecessary and harmful substances that are generated during cellular activities. This process is crucial for maintaining the overall health and balance of the organism, and it ties into the broader theme of how living things sustain life by managing their internal environment. Let's talk about the excretory system in humans. This system plays a crucial role in helping our body get rid of waste materials that are produced inside us. Without it, these wastes could build up and cause serious health issues. The main components of the human excretory system include a pair of kidneys, which are vital for filtering blood and removing waste. There's also the urinary bladder, which stores urine until it's ready to be expelled. Moving on, we have a pair of ureters. These are the tubes that carry urine from each kidney down to the bladder. And finally, there's the urethra, the passage through which urine exits the body. These parts work together seamlessly to maintain our body's balance and keep our internal environment clean. Understanding this system highlights how interconnected our organs are in supporting overall health and functioning. Now, let's take a closer look at the key components of the excretory system. First, we have the kidneys. There are 2 kidneys in our body, and their main role is to filter the blood. They contain tiny blood capillaries that remove unwanted substances, such as waste products and excess salts, turning them into urine. This process is vital for maintaining the balance of our body's fluids and chemicals. Next, we have the ureters. These are two tube-like structures that connect each kidney to the urinary bladder. Their job is to carry the urine produced in the kidneys down to the bladder, where it can be stored temporarily. Speaking of the bladder, it's essentially a storage tank for urine. The urine collected from the kidneys is stored here until it's ready to be expelled from the body. And finally, we have the urethra. This is a muscular tube through which the urine exits the body. When the time comes to urinate, the muscles in the urethra relax to allow the urine to flow out smoothly. Understanding these components helps us appreciate how our body efficiently manages waste and keeps us healthy. Sometimes a person's kidney may stop working completely, often due to infection or injury. When that happens, the kidneys can't do their job of filtering waste from the blood. As a result, waste products and toxins start building up in the bloodstream, which can be very dangerous. In such cases, the person cannot survive without help because their body needs a way to remove those waste products. That's where dialysis comes in. Dialysis is an artificial process that filters the blood when the kidneys can no longer do so effectively. So essentially, dialysis acts as an artificial kidney, helping to keep the blood clean and maintain the body's balance until the kidneys recover or a transplant can be done. This highlights how vital kidney function is and the crucial role that dialysis plays in saving lives when the kidneys fail. Now, let's talk about some interesting facts about excretion. An adult human typically passes about 1 to 1.8 liters of urine in a 24-hour period. That's quite a bit of liquid waste our bodies are constantly filtering and removing. The urine itself is mostly water, about 95%, which helps carry away waste. The remaining 5% includes urea, making up around 2.5%, along with other waste materials also at about 2.5%. What's fascinating is how the body's method of removing waste chemicals depends largely on water availability. For example, aquatic animals like fish excrete ammonia directly into the water. Since they live in water, they can dilute ammonia easily, which is a waste product of protein metabolism. On the other hand, animals like birds, snakes, and lizards excrete uric acid, which is semi-solid and appears as a white paste. This method conserves water, which is especially important for animals living in dry environments or those that don't have easy access to water. So you see, the way animals excrete waste is closely linked to their habitat and water availability, which ties back to the overall theme of how different organisms adapt their excretion processes to survive and thrive in their environments. So let's talk about sweat and why it's actually pretty useful for us. Sweat is mostly made up of water and salts, which might seem simple, but it plays a really important role in keeping us healthy. When we sweat, it helps our bodies get rid of toxins, those unwanted waste materials that can build up. It's like a natural cleaning system. And here's the cool part. As the sweat evaporates from our skin, it takes away heat from our bodies. This process helps us feel cooler, especially during those hot summer days. So, sweat isn't just about feeling sticky. It's a vital part of how our bodies regulate temperature and stay safe in the heat. Overall, sweat is a clever way our bodies manage waste and temperature, keeping us comfortable and healthy. Now, let's talk about how water and minerals are transported within plants. The roots play a crucial role here. They are responsible for absorbing essential minerals and water from the soil, which are vital for the plant's growth and development. You might notice that the roots have tiny hair-like structures on them, and these are called root hairs. These hairs significantly increase the surface area of the roots, allowing them to absorb more nutrients and water efficiently. This increased surface area is a key adaptation that helps plants maximize their intake from the soil, supporting the overall process of nutrient transport and plant health. So, understanding these root hairs helps us appreciate how plants effectively take in what they need to thrive. Let's talk about how water and minerals travel through a plant. From the roots, these essential substances are transported to other parts of the plant via special tissues known as vascular tissues. Now, there are two main types of vascular tissues that play key roles here. First, we have the xylem. Think of the xylem as the plant's water highway. It's responsible for carrying water and minerals absorbed by the root cells up to the leaves and other parts of the plant. An interesting point is that this process happens unidirectionally, meaning the water only moves upward, and it doesn't require energy from the plant. It's driven by natural processes like evaporation and root pressure. Next, there's the phloem, which has a different job. It transports the food, or sugars, produced in the leaves through photosynthesis to all parts of the plant that need it. Connecting these points to the bigger picture, these vascular tissues are vital for the plant's survival, allowing it to distribute water, minerals, and food efficiently. This transport system highlights the plant's incredible ability to sustain itself and grow. Now, let's talk about transpiration. Sometimes, not all of the water that plants absorb is used by them. Instead, they need to get rid of the excess water to maintain balance and proper functioning. This process is called transpiration. Essentially, water inside the plant evaporates and escapes into the atmosphere through tiny openings on the leaves called stomata. These stomata act like little pores that regulate water loss and gas exchange. Understanding transpiration is key because it connects to the broader theme of how plants interact with their environment and manage water, which is vital for their survival and growth. Now, let's talk about the importance of transpiration in plants. When water evaporates from the leaves, it creates a sort of suction that pulls water up from the roots. This process is essential because it helps the plant absorb the water and nutrients it needs to grow and stay healthy. Additionally, transpiration plays a key role in cooling down the plant. As water evaporates, it helps regulate the temperature, preventing the plant from overheating, especially during hot days. So overall, transpiration is not just about water movement. It's also vital for maintaining the plant's temperature and ensuring its overall health and stability. And that brings us to the end. Thank you all for your attention and engagement throughout this presentation. I hope the insights shared today have been helpful and will support your efforts moving forward. Remember, the key takeaways are about understanding the core concepts, applying them thoughtfully, and always staying curious. If you have any questions or want to discuss any point further, please feel free to reach out. Once again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to connecting with many of you soon.